An elite squad of nano-enhanced soldiers join forces with the faction to put an end to 15 years of unnecessary bloodshed under the brutal dictator Sopot. Red Faction 2.
Here's where you get off. I'll attack from the other side. One of us must succeed in stopping Molo. We must locate the laboratory and find the nanocell. Without it, the process cannot work. Alias, it's up to us to make sure that no one ever uses this technology again.
As Huey Lewis in the news once asked, if this is it, please let me know. This is SteelSnake 72, and I'm letting you know it certainly is it. This is where the game gets really challenging, and this is definitely the climax. This is my Red Faction 2. That is terrible. I can't use that, can I? I think I'm going to use it as well. This is my Red Faction 2 playthrough on medium. This is level 10 part 1. This is the first level having to split up into multiple parts because it's a long one, and the full video would be a good 30 minutes, and I'm actually going to have to talk you through stuff and not go into my tangents as much as I would like to, because there's a chance you are actually going to struggle with this. It's pretty tricky because you're going to start fighting the proper enemies that don't die instantly, and this level it uses every dirty trick in the book in terms of difficulty. The worst part about it is this is a full 17-minute one clip, one take. It's not edited at all, really. It was the easiest video to do in that sense. The only tricky part is this commentary now, but yeah, I'm a big fan of checkpoints. I believe in the philosophy that checkpoints don't add to a game's difficulty, so this goes against me entirely. But I'm willing to give this game an extra thing because it's 2002. Checkpoints aren't what they used to be. It's an interesting debate, is difficulty, and it's one I would like to talk more about, but probably more on a hardest difficulty walkthrough if I ever did one. You know, because checkpoints, I think it's just the laziest way of doing difficulty, but yeah, so this could be the hardest part of the game for you, because it all depends on how comfortable you are with doing long sections of gameplay without sort of mistakes. This is only on medium, so it's not that tricky. You should be able to get through it, really. But you know, if you can handle doing 20 Metal Gear raids without making a single mistake, then this will be easy for you. And what makes this tricky is Reptor. Reptor is a nightmare. He will appear at random points in the level, and he'll fire that really annoying grenade launcher at you that's really awesome when you get to use it yourself, but that thing hits you with all grenades, you're dead. No questions, don't matter how much health you've got, doesn't matter if you've done 18 minutes of gameplay and you've almost completed the level and you take a wrong turn in and he's waiting for you. It's the end! Which you may have guessed happened to me, and that, oh, I can't even tell you. I can't even talk about it without just getting angry almost. Your weapon of choice here, guys, is for me the precision rifle, because it has such incredible hip fire. Unfortunately, ammo can go quite quickly, but it's very powerful, and the hip fire is really incredible for a sniper rifle. But I just use the weapon that you're comfortable with. Get used to doing headshots, because they're the only thing that's going to work on this level, guys. You know, nothing else will work, nothing else will do. And just, it's a pretty straightforward level, in all fairness. You just gotta make sure you don't screw up. Take it careful, take it slow. So if you've been rushing this, it all depends on how you've been playing this game tonight. If you've been playing it careful for the past few levels, sorry, then this one's pretty much the same thing. What you got to be careful of, though, this level is pretty cheap at times. Enemies will turn up behind you, they'll turn up around the corners. It can get extremely frustrating because of that. And the precision rifle ammo, as much as I love this gun, you do seem to burn through ammo a lot quicker than you think you should do. At least that's just how I felt using it. So this is a level you're going to be on. You have to be on your guard. You can't be just plugging in Spotify and just chilling when you're on this difficulty. You're going to have to focus a bit. Unless you're a veteran of this game and you're a million times better at it than me, which you probably could be and most certainly are. Because I don't think I'm that good at this game. I just played it a lot when I was young. And even then I used to play it with cheats and only the first few levels. You know, because the cheats were so fun. I would love to actually just do a playthrough with the cheats on. Just mad things. I love cheats. Cheats need to make a comeback, like seriously. Like, does anyone remember the cheats on like COD 4? Like, for as much shit as I will give the Modern Warfare Remaster, they actually added some cheats with the intel pieces, which I will love them for. Like, one of the cheats now, Sakayev's Sons, makes all the enemies become Victor Sakayev, and they've all got RPG-7s. Every enemy in the game will have an RPG, which it is just so hilarious. Like, I would love to do Veteran on that game with that. I reckon it'd be actually easier, but I'm not too sure. Because the problem with Modern Warfare Remastered was a disaster for me, because I wanted to play that on Veteran and get a real good challenge again. Because that game's hard. That game is hard on Veteran. But they ruined it. They made it really easy for some reason. I can't put my finger on what they did, but they certainly made it a lot easier. Because if I go on COD 4 Veteran, I will struggle. One thing they didn't make easier though was definitely Mile High Club. I gonna have to be 100% honest here, as much as I don't really want to be. I did not do Mile High Club on Modern Warfare Remastered on Veteran. I just couldn't do it this time. I can do it on COD 4 without a single issue, but for some reason, Modern Warfare Remastered, I couldn't do it. Really irritated me, that. And the reason I think it was harder on Modern Warfare Remastered is I think they've changed the way the flash grenades work. I don't think they're as effective, because I can definitely do Mile High Club on COD 4, the original, a lot easier. The flashbangs I think are a lot more effective and actually work. I still have the platinum though for Modern Warfare Remastered, because I used a slight glitch that I found on YouTube to do the Mile High Club, which is against me entirely, but I thought this is too cheap and I want that platinum. The things I do for platinums, and I'm not even the biggest trophy hunter anymore. I used to be. I think I've got like 5 platinums, I'm not even sure. But not so much these days. I'm not too bothered about them. I like to just do games on hardest difficulty. It gives me a greater sense of challenge and accomplishment, and it actually makes games last, because these days you can just blast through them in like 2 hours if you know what you're doing on a medium difficulty. At least upping that difficulty will increase your play time somewhat. Not that I want to be a completely against short games. Sometimes short can work to greater effect. I think Alien Isolation, for instance, that game would have worked a hell of a lot better if it'd been an hour or so less. For me personally though, I still enjoyed Alien Isolation for the full it, but being an Alien fan and being a fan of the setting, I think it worked for me. If you're not a fan of the setting or anything, I think you would struggle. I think it tends to go for this whole Resident Evil 1 to 3 vibe. And there it is, see, look, enemies appearing behind you. I absolutely hate that. It's wrong, and I completely disagree with it in game design. Stupid. Rant over, mini rant. I think Alien Isolation tries to follow like the Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3 like philosophy of like doing lots of backtracking, more so Resident Evil 1. But those worked in 1996. That kind of game design went from 1996 with the Resident Evil 1 to the Resident Evil remake in 2002. After that, it's a bit stale. It doesn't quite work anymore. And if you do it, you've got to do it well designed. And Alien Isolation didn't always do that. It kind of just made you backtrack for the sake of it. And I guess Resident Evil's a good one to talk about, because as I'm recording this, TGS is just happening, Tokyo Game Show. I believe it's Tokyo Game Show. There's been a bunch more trailers recently. And they finally released some news on Resident Evil 7 Not a Hero DLC, which... Oh, remember when we finished that game in January and it said coming in spring 2017, and it's now September, and we've only just got a release day on it, and thankfully it's coming December 12th. And they released some gameplay of it, but I have to admit, guys, I wasn't the biggest Resident Evil 7 fan. I was being told by everyone it's amazing. All the critics were going mad, saying, "Oh, it's a return to form for Resident Evil." But I'm in the opinion that it's not. I can't tell you whether Resident Evil's on the rise right now, because Resident Evil 7's a fine game. It does its job, but there was nothing it did that distinguishes it from any other Resident Evil. There was not one single thing. That game is literally, you've done it all. If you've played Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3, or Code Veronica, or Remake, or any of those earlier ones before Resident Evil 4, you have played Resident Evil 7 and done it a million times, and quite frankly, you've done it better designed with better bosses. And that's why I can't tell you whether Resident Evil 7 marks a good point for the series. Sure, it's in a better state than it was 5 years ago with Resident Evil 6, but I don't know, I didn't come away from Resident Evil 7 loving it, because I feel like the Resident Evil community is an odd one. With they want to call themselves the purists, people that love 7 and that, because the series is only good when it's horror and clunky and whatever, whereas I disagree. I think the series high point is easily 4, when it had just fantastic mechanics and a bit of a creepy atmosphere. I don't know, I'm just a big fan of a damn good game. I don't know, Resident Evil was never really scary, if we're completely honest, guys, was it? It was thrilling and intense, but it's a lot closer to something like Alien, where the hero actually does beat the monster in the end. I mean, the true horror one was Silent Hill, which does it a hell of a lot better because that's what it's trying to do. I'm not knocking Resident Evil here, because I love Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3. I mean, Resident Evil 2 I played January this year for the first time. Absolutely loved it. I may prefer it to Metal Gear Solid 1, which is saying a big deal for me personally. Because, you know, I don't like the mechanics of the first 3 Resident Evils. They're fine, it's a personal thing, because not playing them when they were new and that. By the way, jump across that thing, because I think it can get blown up, that bridge, and that's when I got screwed over by Repta killing me on a platform. Really pissed me off after 18 minutes of gameplay. But I didn't particularly like those mechanics just because they were old and I didn't play them when they were new, and they're clunky to get used to. And I'm not knocking them if you like them. You know, you can easily say the same about Metal Gear Solid's early 3 games. But Resident Evil 2, I absolutely loved it, and I didn't need a guide to finish it, and I did it all naturally on its own. I loved it, every single second of Resident Evil 2 I loved. I was on the edge of my seat from start to finish, and it was a good short game, but it's so replayable with all the different campaigns. That's how you do, you know, length in a game. Don't make the game just 20 hours long, make it replayable with different characters, different scenarios, and depending on which campaign you play through first will affect the second one. That's how you do, that's called good game design. I think it's called the zapping system, they call it. It's inspired by Back to the Future Part 2, apparently. Which is weird. But I think it says a lot that you can still enjoy Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3 in this day. Because, you know, as clunky as the controls are and the camera, they work and they make they just add to the unease and tension a lot more. Resident Evil 3 I had a tough time with. That game is hard, with Nemesis. But still enjoyed it, and I didn't need a guide for it. I did for the first one, because I'm stupid, and we've obviously become a lot stupider since 1996. And I couldn't figure things out. Actually, I played Remake, sorry. So 2002. Not 1996. We're just becoming dumber, aren't we, with games? But the problem is you play so many modern games where they hold your hand and tell you exactly where to go. So when you play something like, when you try and play Resident Evil 1, it just completely throws you off. But Resident Evil 7, will not a hero be any good? I don't know. If it's just going to have us fighting the molded, I'm not going to enjoy it. I hated doing that. I thought the molded were a crap enemy. They're just knockoff regenerators from Resident Evil 4, but just not anywhere near as good. So who knows? Maybe I'll come back to Resident Evil. I will play Not a Hero, but whether I'll enjoy it or not, I'm not too sure. You know, the way I'm looking at it, Resident Evil 7 is a game I had fun with, but I was expecting slightly more from what I'd heard going in. So perhaps my own expectations ruining the game. Who knows? But we also saw that we saw this game that Yoji Shinkawa, who's been the art designer on all the Metal Gear Solids, he does fantastic art design. He's now helping out with this new game called Left Alive or something, and as a Metal Gear fan it tickled me. I'm sure any Metal Gear fan got that if you've seen this Left Alive stuff. So that's a game I'm going to have to look out for. Apparently it's coming out next year, so... You know, 2018, I've got a few games I could look forward to now. I mean, there's going to be the third Metro game. I absolutely loved 1 and 2, so I'll be definitely looking very forward to a third Metro game. I thought we were never going to see a third one. So that's all cool. I don't know if it's going to be based off a book or not, but we'll have to see, because I'm not too sure. I don't even think Last Light was based off the books, actually. I think it was its own story, which is probably why it's not as good, well written, or as good a story as the first one. But in terms of 2017, guys, if you know, please put in the comments how you felt 2017 in terms of gaming. I've been pretty disappointed, guys. You know, I haven't played that many new releases, because not many new releases get me excited anymore. I can tell you now that my game of the year is definitely going to go to either Wolfenstein 2 or Evil Within 2. I've not even played them and they're not even out yet, but I can tell you that's how it's going to go. I just know this already, because there's no else really interested me this year. I'm not giving it to Resident Evil 7. And I'm certainly not giving it to Sniper Elite 4. But, yeah, I mean, I could talk about my game of the years. I suppose it's all a personal thing. You know, 2014, at the time I gave it to Alien Isolation, but upon retrospect and playing the Evil Within, I think I'm going to have to give it to Evil Within 1. Which says a hell of a lot about that year of games, that I would give Game of the Year to something like Alien Isolation. A fine game, but would any other year would get nowhere near Game of the Year. It's not even worth a mention, really, in any other year. But that was the state of things in 2014, I felt. And, you know, let me know what you think Game of the Year, the actual Game of the Year, is going to be, guys, with the Game Awards, if you care about that charade. I honestly couldn't tell you. I believe Overwatch won it last year, didn't it? Which were a bit of a surprise, I think. Really, I think it was between that and Uncharted 4. I don't think anything else really could have won it. And this is a fun moment when 4 enemies just come around the corner. You know, this is like Uncharted 1 all over again. But we're coming to the end of this level, guys. It's I've had to talk less about level than I actually thought I would. Just take it slow, pick the enemies off from a distance, check your blind spots, basics really. The stuff you'll have learned. If you've survived up to this point, you'll be okay. You just gotta keep your concentration for a good 17 minutes, which can be the hard part, I think. So it's all about how well you can cope with that. But if you're a person who loves having no checkpoints and you think that's good design for difficulty, and completely disagree with me, you're gonna love this. It'll be fine. After this though, you don't have anything quite like this with like just ridiculous lengths of gameplay with no checkpoints. You're gonna have a fair few boss fights, a couple against Reptar, which I love the first Reptar fight. It's a good one. And just use your grenades, use all the tools you've got to you, because you know now is the time to use them. But do let me know what you think Game of the Year is going to be, guys. You know, I mean, Uncharted 4 was in the contention, wasn't it, last year? Which is, oh, it'd been mad if Uncharted 4 had won Game of the Year. I'm not actually completely well versed on what all the Game of the Years have been. I can sort of tell you from, I think, did 2007 go to COD 4? The actual like VGAs or VGXs or whatever they were called. I think it might have done. Then we had like Fallout 3, Uncharted 2. Was it Red Dead in 2010? I don't even know. 2011. Was that Skyrim? Did Skyrim come out in 2011? I want to say it did. You get all the ammo, which tells you a boss fight's coming up here as well. 2012, I want to say it was Walking Dead or something. 2013 was GTA 5 as always. 2014 was Dragon Age Inquisition. 2015 Witcher 3, and then Overwatch. Yeah, I think I've got them all right. Let me know, guys, and let me know what you think next year's going to be. But that's the end of the video, guys. Well done. You've got the Reptar fight coming up, which is a really cool fight. I'll see you guys for that one. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.